Hi fiends, it's DonnaJean for Terror Bay. I've had the pleasure of being at the Pop Rock and Horror Convention in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and I've been sitting with Nathan Baesel, who you know as Leslie Vernon. I had the delight of sitting here Friday when everybody was coming up and getting autographs, and everybody asked Nathan one question, and I know it's the one, if you're not here, that you want to ask him, and that would be about a sequel. We have heard for some years now that there would be kind of a prequel sequel called Before the Mask, Behind the Mask, and is anything going on with that?
No.
Plain and simple. If there were to be a sequel.
We took the sequel script and we turned it into a comic book series, a 6-issue comic book series, which is great. It's a great medium for the sequel, or well, for any horror film to live in. It's just a fantastically suited medium. The sensationalism of it, you know, the stark imagery of it, you know, it's just a great format, and it was a great rendition of that sequel script idea. We're still, I feel like, a few years off from getting the band back together, but everybody wants to get back together. You know, it's just you know, Spinal Tap can't tour every year. You know, they've got to have some downtime in between.
Well, all of that being said, if and when it does happen, you are a little bit older than the last time that you
I'm
stepped in those shoes.
a lot bit older. That was really kind of you to say. That was sweet.
But
I'm
do
way
you have
older.
a particular storyline that you would like to see Leslie going?
So, what I really appreciated about the first one was that it was a vehicle for me to just be me. And the extent to which I allowed for what was happening in my life to parallel what was happening with Leslie, the more effective it seemed to be. So I just look for those parallels. And I think something that everybody identifies with in their own way is that Leslie really put himself out there in the first one, just really prepared, built himself up, and completely 100% put himself out there expecting success, and he crashed. And what do you do with that? Do you pick yourself up, you know? How do you pick yourself up? How do you rebound if you do, you know? So I think that's you know, a really interesting storyline to pursue, because it's one that I identify with, you know, very personally.
That being said, since you identified so much with him, and we will talk about the buried bodies over the last couple of days later, but did you find that you did a lot of improvisation during the filming based on, oh gee, this is kind of perfect right here, I'm throwing this in?
No, the script was there, you know, all the content of the script was, you know, it had that light feel about it. It had a real kind of improvisatory feel to it. So I didn't really have to, you know, dance around the language too much. It was really mostly just in interactions with Angela, with the crew, listening to what they were doing and responding to it, incorporating them into the scene. That's kind of where it was at, where the play was at, you know.
Yeah. And you worked with just some of the finest people known in the horror genre, particularly since you had not been involved in the horror genre prior to that.
No, and it was my first film, so.
Yeah. And we're working with Scott Wilson and Robert Englund in a nice, cute little cameo by King Hodder in the beginning. Zelda. Rubenstein or Rubenstein?
I said Rubenstein, and she didn't slap me, so.
Okay. But I had the good fortune to meet both Robert Englund and Scott Wilson. They're both just... Scott is such a nurturing soul.
Oh, yeah.
And the relationship that Eugene and Leslie had was just was beautiful. Did you find that anything played out that way between you two? I mean,
no, that's why it was the way it was. It was him. because he's just a really. That's why I keep this photo at my table, because he was a real profound influence on me, and he gave me so. He was so generous in what he gave me to work with, you know, to work against, to feed off of, to. And he was completely like that in real life, which is why it shows up on camera, right? You know, so he was an incredibly generous person. We were able to start off right off the bat with a real intimate relationship, and you know, there's nowhere you can't go, you know, coming off of that foundation. And you know, that was him. You know, it's like what happened with Angela. You know, the relationship right off the bat was just really, really playful and intimate, and I think that is how our relationship started off on camera, and we were able to just kind of go with that, to the extent that, in my opinion, the movie's a love story in a way, and that's a quality that I don't think was inherent in the script, but because that's what was happening for us, you know, that's how it was showing up.
Yeah, and it really does play out that way. That's how I saw it, and people I've introduced the film to. And it's another interesting thing I've noticed. Other people who came up to you seem to all say, I've introduced so many people to this film, and everybody says, how did I not know about this?
Right.
And that's my experience with people, even people who have been involved in the love horror genre for a long time. But
I love that couples come up, you know?
Yes.
This is our couples movie. This is our date night movie, you know?
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's weirdly appropriate, you know?
You really can see that interplay between you and Angela.
No.
And having been here over the weekend with you, it still is there. You can see an intimacy in the friendship, and that's a beautiful thing.
She's all right.
She is all right. And gorgeous. So, since that's behind you for now, I understand you've been teaching acting. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
I love teaching. Yeah, I love teaching acting. I love having an opportunity to contribute to students what it feels like it took me a long time to learn how to do for myself, which is to see acting as something that's very personal rather than something that's performative. So I think that knowledge doesn't come instinctually, and there's a lot of teachers who don't subscribe to that point of view, and so in some ways too, I feel like I'm kind of fighting the good fight for artists, you know, out there, actors as artists. But yeah, I love guiding people to seeing how acting is an opportunity for them to express themselves rather than express ideas that have been kind of handed to them, or you know, ideas that they have about how to be winning or cool or whatever. You know, I really just want to facilitate expression. I love doing that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Nathan. We are here until 4 o'clock today in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania at the Pop Rock and Horror Festival convention. And come on out and see us.
Paradise Lost.